Hello everyone, I'm Jingjing. I'm the horticulture educator from Cornell Cooperative Extension of Chemung County. I was often asked one question, if we should prune tomato plants or not. The answer is yes. Pruning tomatoes will help you get more fruit from your tomato plants. There are two types of tomatoes, determinate and indeterminate tomatoes. Determinate tomatoes grow to a determined height, usually it's about 3 feet tall, and then they will stop growing and redirect all of their energy to leaf and fruit production. They tend to ripen all of their fruit at about the same time. Indeterminate tomatoes can grow as long or tall as they can. They will produce fruit continuously all season long until the frost gets them. First, let's take a look at the tomato plant. For every tomato plant, there's always a main stem. And from this main stem, there are leafy stems and flower stems. For flower stems, you need to pinch off any flowers that bloom before the plant is 12 to 18 inches tall. This will ensure the plant has enough energy to have strong roots and a good start before the fruit stage. This tomato plant is about 12 inches tall, and I will pinch off the flowers on this tomato plant. For leafy stems, there are 4 types of pruning. The first type of pruning is to prune all leafy stems that grow below the first flower stem, and this will put more energy into those first fruit. And this type of pruning applies to both indeterminate tomatoes and determinate tomatoes. The second type of pruning is to pinch off the suckers on the plant. At the base of each leaf stem, in this crotch, a side branch will grow, and we often call it sucker. Pruning suckers is different for indeterminate tomatoes and determinate tomatoes. This is a determinate tomato. For determinate tomatoes, you want to wait until you see the first flower cluster on the plant. And you want to leave the last sucker just before the first flower cluster on the plant. And this sucker will make a very strong stem, which will produce a large number of tomatoes. And then you want to cut off all those suckers below this point. There probably will be 5 to 7 of them. And for the suckers above this first flower cluster, you can let them grow. So again, don't try to trim off the suckers until you see the first flower cluster on your determinate tomato plant. For indeterminate varieties, I prefer single-stemmed plants. So I pinch off all of the suckers on this plant. Do try to prune the suckers before they get too big. Otherwise, you will have a big opening in your plant, which will invite pathogens. As the growing season proceeds, it is normal for some older leaves to yellow and die. And you want to prune these dead leaves as well. This will increase air circulation and reduce the chance of diseases. Many tomato diseases, including septoria and early blight, can be present in soils. As plants grow tall, you can continue removing lower leaves up to 18 inches from the ground to help keep the diseases from spreading. When close to the end of the tomato season, your tomato plants need to stop producing new fruit and leaves and concentrate on ripening the fruit that are already on the vine. And you can help them to do that by pinch off the growing tips. And this is a growing tip. I'm not going to pinch off the growing tip right now because my tomato plant is still growing. And this should be done about 1 month before the first frost in your area. I have to say tomato pruning is a bit of work, but it is worth it because the plants will produce more fruit for your family. If you have any questions regarding tomato pruning, please leave your questions in the comment section and I will answer them later. See you later!